What up, YouTube? Agent Persuasion here with my boy Slim, and we're here at YCS Pasadena with one of my good friends, Justin Delhon, who just got top 32 with what deck, my friend?
I was playing Tearlaments with the Bestial card. Actually, I was playing the Tearlaments deck that played all the cards. There's 47 cards.
Woo!
I just said yes to everything.
So Bestials, Tears, Ishizu, all that.
Everything. Except one engine that my friends convinced me to cut, which I don't know if it was right or wrong, but I think it worked out.
Okay, fair.
I mean, I played the standard. I don't want to waste anyone's time. 3, 3, 3. And then 3 of this one. Obviously, a lot of people play 3. We play Diviners, so it's a lot of normal summons, but this is one of the best mills in the deck. So when you're going second, you mill this, you can make them make a mistake by not shuffling it back. Because if they don't shuffle it back because they're waiting for Fusion Summon, you get it out and you discard a Fusion Summon from hand. Now they have to shuffle back, and then you foolish a Fusion Summon, and if they have a second shuffle back, they've used both on essentially one Rhino.
Yeah.
That's why this card is really, really good.
I like that.
I don't love normal summoning it. You're usually losing when it's your normal summon. Played 3, 3, 3, and then 2 of this one. These ones are all like broken because they mill, obviously, but this one's just awful if you don't play the other cards, and I don't want to play the other cards. So obviously I want to mill it, but drawing it is so bad. I just didn't want to have games that I drew this card, so I played less of it. And then, like we said, the 2. It was at 1 before. Before the event, I was playing the Sprite package. I had a feature match against Kamal in round 10, and he was playing the Sprite package. And if you read game 1, his deck looks so nice, and like I'm seething because I'm like, he's doing the things I wanted to be doing. But I just decided to take it out and play a second one of this. I wanted more consistency, and the one thing I didn't like with the shuffle backs is a lot of times with the sprites, you kind of have to waste a shuffle back on your own cards, like your own turn. Yeah. So I don't love doing that because sometimes you just don't have them. And also in a 47 card deck, you're going to have less of them than your opponent, so you really need to use them carefully. And then obviously if you're playing all those fairies, Herald's just really, really strong. I'm going to put the super in the back and pretend it's ultimate.
Hide it away.
Yeah, we'll use angles.
I like it.
And then I played this package. I cut the sprites to play this. Initially our decks had tactics and all. I just wanted cards that were like super high impact on both turns, and so that's why I think Tactics is like a tricky card because it's really good when you go first, but if you get Dwellered, it is very hard to use Tactics in a way that's that impactful. Like you can link your way up, but people aren't really playing a lot of like high power links. It's all link 2s to facilitate, right? So and then I just played the one Sulik in the main. I didn't play Crime in the main. I don't I'll tell you when Crime comes up what I didn't know about it. Obviously the field spell, and then I just played basically one of each of them. When you mill them, they're broken to add, but I just don't. When you're trying to do sprites or the sprite link 2 stuff, a lot of times when you don't have Merly, you're searching Merly. So I just didn't want to like have a bunch of these cards in my deck when I'm not searching them as much, because if I draw it, it's not a combo card. So I just wanted to search it when I needed it, not like play a bunch. Best card. Foolish. Me and my friend Sean were talking about this. Super weird. Some people aren't playing Foolish, and I don't really understand why.
Triggers, right?
It's a starter. Like it's super weird. And the thing I like about Foolish is you can set Rhino-Heart, so you can like unbrick, but also have a really cool thing you can do is when you open double Rhino-Heart, you can send a Rhino-Heart, pitch the Rhino-Heart, and then they might react to it, and then you can normal yours because people like panic, right? And so I don't know, this card just seems really good. A lot of times you just do your combos and then you can Foolish the name you don't have for shuffle backs as well. So, and then this card was extremely good. This is one of my favorite cards to play in the deck. It got so much better with all these new cards. It used to be such a minus, and now you're just like stopping a Dweller while also milling cards, right? So you're like, it's like a double FU to Dweller. Like not only am I negating you, but I'm also milling. So, and then I wanted to play 3 of this. You'd be like, why didn't you? You played everything. I just decided to play 2. But I decided to play this instead. I sided it out quite a bit every time I went second, but I just think it's a really crazy high impact card on the shuffle backs. You have to use it preemptively if they only have 1, but a lot of times they'll have 2, and then you can get rid of 2 on the 1. Like they use it, and then you chain it on the second one, and they lost both of them, and it's a blowout. Initially my list had bells in it. I was trying to stop shuffle backs, but I just wanted better cards to mill or more high impact cards to draw, so I cut those. Extra deck is, I mean, the fusions, everyone knows. I mean, you don't need to, there's nothing in here that's special, so wouldn't worry about that. The links, this is where I kind of didn't enjoy my deck as much. These links are, this one is excellent going second. These ones are pretty good going second, like you crack boards and make them, but like I wanted ones that like could make the board be cracked with the link itself. So like IP was in my extra deck, as well as I was playing Underworld Goddess, because as you guys know, I don't play as much as I used to. So I like cards that solve problems for me, not me having to solve the problem. Yeah. So if they make something and it's like unaffected by the world, I just want to be able to like
get rid of it.
It's like I'm kaijuing them, right? Yeah. Like it's just like and then this card also is, it's crazy when you play the Magnamuts and the other stuff. You have to be very careful with Druid Swarm and Magnamut. If you are playing in the mirror and they have those cards, you have to make sure when you're shuffling back, you never leave a Magnamut in the grave, because you're getting cooked.
You're gonna die, yeah.
And then, yeah. I played the Gigantic Sprite, and then Dweller and Time Thief. These were, this isn't standard, but this is just a way when you're getting Bestialed, this is the correct card to make a lot of the time instead of this, because if you have shufflebacks and they Bestialed you and you only got to do one fusion summon, having this with a Shiren underneath gives you another play on their turn, and it gives you actions to do something instead of hoping that a lingering Dweller is enough. So this card's really good. And also you can like get really lucky and just get a trap card and get a spell card, and it's just insane. And then I played Baguska. I kind of wish I didn't. Like, the reasons we played it all made sense, but when I played against Flunder, he had the card that let him tribute summon, and I'm like, this is, it sucks. And I wasn't making it nearly to the level. I thought like, oh, I'm gonna make this against Sprite. But man, like, Sprite was just so easy this weekend. The scariest thing about Sprite, and I don't think it's a bad deck, the scariest thing about Sprite after game one is, do they side Neko Monte King? You really have to just ask yourself that. And so, if they do, they're lucky. They got you. And then in the Zeus, I made it twice. In my feature against Kamal, I made it, and it was really good. Like, Dweller Zeus play is just insane, but it's a card I didn't play test with, so I probably could have made it a lot more this weekend, but just didn't have the experience with it. And then Baron is just really good in simplified game states. Obviously, you summon the Fairy, summon the Diviner, but the cool thing is it gives you something to do with your Elf when you're on a fusion summons, because I don't have the Sprite package, so you Elf back, and then you just use a random 4 with the Elf. You get, it's crazy because you get a shuffle back engrave and then get to make it Omni Negate.
Yeah,
it just like does everything. I wanted to make it more, but man, I was getting Bestialed all day. This awful card.
Yeah.
This card is really good. I only decided it going first because I realized in the mirror, I had never tested this card in my life. When I was playing against my friend playing Sprite, when he would summon this and I'm holding a Havness, I'm like, this sucks, because like I can Havness, but I need to hit really good now instead of just hitting good. Because this card's gonna body you if you just summon a kit. So this card going first is crazy. I'm sure it's good going second, but I'm not a big fan of like having to go into boards like with a Dweller and stuff with these cards as much, because it's not helping me with the actual problem. It's just kind of simplifying an already really bad game state for me. So I'm sure it was good that way, but just not. And then I sided the Pankratops. I didn't side 3 of this strictly because I like the idea of if I open multiples, I had an opportunity to summon both.
Yeah.
And this was going second against other decks, just not the mirror.
Not the mirror, yeah.
And then this stupid card. This is one of the best cards in my side deck. I only drew it a couple times, but it's basically...
Oh, my lord.
Yeah, this card's crazy. It's for every non-mirror match, or you play the Thunder Dragon version of it. Because this card, it's like Droll, but the problem with Droll is it doesn't stop their next turn. So let's say they Shifter me, right? All those decks are playing Shifter. Well, I can't do a lot under Shifter. I'm not going to lie to myself and say that I can. But what I can do is just activate this and know that they're kind of shifted for 2 turns.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I like this card so much. And the other thing I really like about this card, and I tell my friends this all the time, it's a floodgate that people can react to, but it's a floodgate that they can't react to on my turn. It's not one that I can like flip up and they chain droplets and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's there, already lingering. It stays. So against Flunder and against Sprite, it's such a god card. Like, it's so hard for them, because you take away blue, Jet, Starter, Gigantic.
Yeah.
And now, even if they out it, they had to use 2 or 3 extra cards that they otherwise wouldn't have had to use.
That's the inner gadget of Justin Delhon playing. The inner gadget, bro.
They had this?
Bro, you'd be like,
I'd be dead. Thunder King was my kryptonite.
Yeah, you would
Thunder
be
King on crack. I played Duster and then just one more. I ended up just siding this in the mirror and not the Duster a lot. This card's crazy, but I really hated mating it. It did help, but I hate cards that I don't want to search going first. because it's like I'm not gonna get to search it going second. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm making a kit going second and they're resolving it, why is this the card I'm searching? Things are already going well.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
You're already going full combo.
And then I sided the one Prime. I thought Prime was like Sullick. So against Flunder, I made Baron with full board, set Sullick, set Prime, and then said go, and he went evenly, and I was like, Baron, negate, and he's like, evenly. And I like realized Prime says I have to discard a monster, so I just had to like put it from here to here, and just like move on with my life. And then this is a card I wish I sided 3 of. It was like an auto win in the mirror. We talked about like all the other things the decks can do, but what I realized during the tournament was this is a lot of what they're doing. And so when you barrier them, this just is not that much. It doesn't do anything. The best case scenario for them is they're playing the Sprite cards and they get to a gigantic play. But even then, that is so low bar compared to what I'm doing that this card it was a blow. I drew it 3 times, and all 3 times I won it when I showed I didn't use it right away. Like I don't want them to see it, but every time I activated it, they within 2 actions scooped. It's too good. So I think that's everything.
So shout outs you got, brother. You got some?
Shout out Combox Games. 2 of my best friends started this little shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Shout out to Canada, and guys, check it out. It's awesome. It's so much fun having friends with a card shop.
That's awesome.
And shout out to my buddy Sabil. Like you guys said, you haven't seen me play in tournaments for a while. Well, you gotta get cards somewhere. And when you're missing cards, he helped me out. So shout out to him as well.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on getting top 32, Justin, and hopefully we see you in the future some more. All right, peace.